Good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to We Build New America. Thank you for the subscribe. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Give me a like, subscribe, share this one that new, and then go right after it where Trump is out of control. And then let's see what it say in the video. Please give me a like, guys, and I appreciate it. And let's go dive into the video.
NBC News has just learned that President Trump plans to sign an executive order closing down the Department of Education. The move fulfilling a campaign promise to shutter the agency, which has long been a target of conservatives. But it's unclear how he'll legally do that since Congress needs to sign off on officially closing a department of this kind. The order would be the culmination of weeks of effort by the Trump administration to wind down DOE. Trump's education secretary, Linda McMahon, has overseen a roughly 50% cut to the agency's workforce in what she has called the, quote, final mission of the department. The Education Department oversees tens of billions of dollars in grant money to schools across the country, but
Wait, tens billions dollars? Another way, they say that the government fund those programs, and now Trump is trying to cut those programs out, tens of billions of dollars. But there's no, we lack education. This is where people are gonna learn, this way, so on and so forth. But the thing is, the matter is, they're teaching the wrong thing in school now. They're teaching about sexuality, this is about LGBTQ, this is about a pronoun. We all want to students to learn how to count, how to be expressive, how to think, how to be creative. That's what we pay education for. We don't pay education for the old nonsense. And I think the DOE is a good way to learn, but for the past past few years, they went out the curriculums is nothing about learning, it's about everything about pronoun and feeling, which is where Trump want to take it. And I don't blame Trump for it because many parents frustrated about that as well, as myself I do.
Conservatives for years have said control of education should be returned entirely to the state and local level. They say it would empower parents to make choices about their children's education. For more on this, let's get right to NBC's senior White House correspondent, Garrett Hake, who joins us live tonight from the North Lawn. Garrett, I mean, this just breaking, but walk us through what do we know about this order at this point?
Yeah, Ellison, I'm holding a copy of the fact sheet that will accompany this order when the president signs it tomorrow. It is the culmination of weeks of work from this White House and decades of work within the conservative movement that has long viewed the Department of Education as something of a boogeyman. The order directs the Secretary of Education, in this case Linda McMahon, to take every necessary step she can to facilitate, this says, the closure of the Department of Education and return education authority to the states. The White House
I appreciate that because every state has their own legacy. Because every state can dictate because their own law and their own curriculum, which is good. Because poor country they do that. Every state has the same different curriculum. But there's a global, there's an exam official like SAT and or PSAT they are coming. But it's a good state they do that because now federal has too much power for education. Whatever they say goes. What about the federal as a corporate? So the country cannot be function. So now he put the balance where the state can oppose what the federal said, and different state can have different idea, and then we can balance it out where the education is highest, which is some different states from New York, California, Florida, and Connecticut, so on and so forth. Different state can tell you where is the highest education, and then where's the lowest education, and then we can have an idea what's going on, which is a bright.
Now takes some pains through information we've been given from a senior administration official to say things like Title I funding, student loans, and students with disabilities aid won't be touched in this effort. Frankly, Allison, some of this is aspirational. As you pointed out in the lead, it will take an act of Congress to ultimately shut down the Department of Education and transfer its authority back to the states. But the administration can take additional steps, like what they've already done, to eliminate positions within the department, fire career staff, and try to shift responsibilities elsewhere within the federal government. Now, the president intends to sign this executive order tomorrow.
I'm looking for tomorrow, but the thing is, matter is if we can fire those people that have nothing better to offer, and the education, let them go, because we don't need my kids to go to school to learn about he, she, her pronoun, and we all are about our PSAT, SAT, and next thing you know, we are aware about graduation, so on and so forth. Because this is really ridiculous. Only in those countries they were about more about feelings, more about education. If you cannot count, you are in trouble. If you cannot speak, you're in trouble. If you cannot run essay, you're in trouble, because you cannot express yourself. This is common basic living thing for human society, and then they sweeping away from those students, from the child, the innocent. That's really me. For me, I hate that. I don't stand that. And if Trump cannot destroy it or shut it down or replace those people, that's a good thing. But I truly supported the bill to do different state, because every state have their own, need to have their own agenda, so that if one state about the pronoun, the other state can fight it, and they have different perspective where people can choose which
here at the White House in a ceremony where he'll be joined by some supportive governors, including from Texas, Florida, and Indiana, where they're champing at the bit to get more of this control at state level. But some of my reporting over the last couple of weeks is that other states are not quite as ready, perhaps, to take over this authority. And so I think what you're seeing here today is an effort by the White House to take the next step in what could still be a quite lengthy process to accomplish this goal of transferring as much as possible of education authority back to the states. I will add one other note that's in this fact sheet suggesting we'll see some language to this effect in the EO, that what's left of the Department of Education, this order says, the funds will not be allowed to advance what they call DEI or gender ideology, another issue that.
So another way, DEI. That's the part Trump don't want to. They want to do DEI inside their house. They want the DEI. The DEI is nothing, just a nothing burger and a full nonsense. That's why Trump go to DOE, because you don't get rid of DEI. Because he's saying that he's not taking no fund from people that's disabled, no fund from the school. He just kind of shut down the part of the DEI. They don't want to tell you about the DEI. They talk about education. But those DEI inflicted in books, they feel in education, they feel of everything. And then the kids need to grow up as the kids, have fun, and go eat, and then enjoy to come back. They don't need to know about pronoun. They don't need to know about I'm a 6 or I'm a this or I'm a that. We don't need to know that. They all need to know I go to school to learn how to count 1 to 10, how to read, and then see, how to color and how to draw shape. That's all I want to know. I don't want to know if you have a girlfriend or boyfriend, how many girlfriend or boyfriend you have, and if you're straight or gay. I'm learning school. And I totally agree with that. The DEI is a wrap. They don't need that in the education.
That this White House has been intently focused on going back to Inauguration Day. Ellison?
Garrett, as this idea had come up and seemed more immediate, particularly with those layoffs that happened at the department, a lot of people shifted to worrying about what it would mean for student loans. Is there any indication that there would be some sort of immediate impact felt by this executive order, or is it going to be a wait until Congress gets involved situation?
I think it's very much an open question. I mean, if you look at something like FAFSA and the federal process by which many American students apply for student loans, if not the Department of Education, who would administer that? How would it work? Where would you send your questions, and who would control that money if you're not applying to a school within your state? I think all of these are questions that are going to have to be answered either by the federal government or by the states if they get that far. But again, it's hard for me as a former congressional correspondent to see how they're able to muster the votes, especially in the Senate, to pass legislation that would be necessary to make this broader goal a reality anytime soon.
And Garrett,
And about the fund will be stable. They're just making noise. It's just pushing noise. They just want to shut down the DEI, but they want to talk about the DEI. They want to talk about the shutdown education. But the fund will be for the student because they have the name, the Social Security. If you apply for further, so the state actually receive the fund for the student and then they distribute to the student. That's how the federal give the money. The state go ahead and take the money from the federal and then give it to the student. It's nothing changed. But the thing about DEI, which is nothing burger, the student don't need those things because at the end of the day, it's about their knowledge and it's a basic skill, and let's see how the comprehension. That's all it's about. And to guys, for the new subscriber, if you like my video, thumbs up, subscribe, share.